New Aston Martins don't come along every day, so when they do, they need to be able to stun like a ray gun, and for more than just a few years. They need to make their owners feel like the stars of the show, not just the extras.
And the first of the really modern Astons did just that. If you've ever seen a Vanquish... Oh no, wrong voice. If you've ever seen a Vanquish on the road, it makes even the spoddiest bonehead look like a truly sexy hero type.
But a Vanquish costs £160,000. Aston desperately needed a car to replace their aged but big-selling DB9. A car about 100 grand to compete with Ferrari's 360 Modena and Lamborghini's Gallardo. This DB9 is it.
Immediately, every fibre of this car screams Aston Martin at you. If you didn't notice those slimmer hips and fuller waist, you might almost mistake it for its bigger Vanquish brother. For starters, there's the big, bluff, sharky mouth. Then there's the slightly more swept back headlights. And who could forget the trademark side vents and familiar hard shoulder line across the top of the rear arch? It's all pure Vanquish inspired. Even underneath its skin, it's the same type of high-tech bonded and riveted aluminium monocoque as the Vank.
And what about this interior? Well, old Aston Martins got slated for having old Ford bits in them, and quite rightly so. But the interior of this new DB9 is all bespoke, and I do mean all.
It's dominated by this beautifully crafted centre console, which manages to be both traditional English and high-tech minimalist. And there's a 950-watt Lin stereo, and sat-nav to boot. Straight ahead, there are the dials, stunning metallic jewels, which greet you. Unfortunately, the rear seats are nothing short of a joke. But who cares when you've got detailing like this? This is stuff you really want to show off to your friends.
Even the starter button is made of pure crystal.
Of course, the DB9 is not about figures, it's about emotions. But my emotions are stirred quite significantly by its 6-litre V12 with 450 brake horsepower, and a fatter torque curve than the Vanquish. 5.1 seconds to 62 and 186 miles an hour top end. That's stirring me.
That engine is a wailing, singing monster of a thing. It makes me want to record it and play it back over and over again as I sleep. Oh, just listen to that!
Now, later in the year, the DB9 will be available with a normal manual gearbox, so it'll have a gear stick. But this one's got an automatic 6-speed with paddle override, which means that it goes up with the right and down with the left. It suits the car perfectly. It means that you get all the benefits of an automatic, but you get to have a play when you want to. Now, the good thing about this gearbox is that when you don't want to play, you just press D, and it becomes a normal, solid 6-speed automatic. And it matches the characteristic of the DB9 that's also utterly impressed me, and that's the ride. It's got no fancy schmancy electronic nonsense in this car, just properly set up wishbones and springs done by people who obviously know what they're doing. It actually betters some of the luxury saloons that I've been driving recently, and it's the best GT I think I've ever driven.
Yes, okay, there is a feeling of weight against the nose if you get a bit too keen, but the levels of grip and go and steering feel and braking power are phenomenal for this kind of car. It's the opera singer that can dance, the footballer that can play chess. It's the F1 driver who can hold a conversation. At 103,000, why bother with a Vanquish when this costs 60 grand less? I reckon it'll steal sales from other GTs like the Bentley Continental, as well as the Gallardo and 360.
Quite frankly, this DB9 is an absolutely stunning car. I actually reckon that it's the best car that Aston Martin have ever built. It's that good. And for me, being a little bit of a junior James Bond, it makes me very happy indeed.